Well, I am super excited to sit down and have a chat with the new Ironman World Champion. Solveig, welcome to GTN. I mean, our viewers have seen a little bit about you, but before we delve into your background, I want to talk about the race yesterday, obviously. I know you are being bombarded, but let's just start with the swim. You're telling me a little bit about the swim start. You were maybe slightly disappointed with your swim. Why was that? What happened at the very start?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed how far back I were from the first people, and the start was really weird because it was just before the gun went off. It was these paddle boards coming to. I think they want us to move a bit further back because we were a bit in front of the boys, but like all of us were that I guess. And then the paddleboard came right in front of me, and he started to say like, "You need to go further back," and then. I was thinking like, no, you need to go further back. Then they had just said 30 seconds to the start, and I was thinking like, didn't he hear that? And then suddenly the gun went off, and I just had nowhere to go because and I was not the only one because I think it was more paddleboards, but at least me and the people beside me were just trapped, so we couldn't really go anywhere. So I just panicked and I climbed over the paddleboard, and that was like the start of the swim, and I was almost like pushing the man on the paddleboard into the water because I was just super stressed. And I think for me then I was like, I had lost a couple meters to the faster swimmers, and if I should have any chance at all to stay with the swimmers that are slightly faster, then I need to be with them from the start, and I just couldn't close that gap. So I was never really in the group that ideally I would have been happy if I had been like one group ahead of the group I was in, but I was also quite relaxed in that group because I saw that I had Lisa Percher there, and I saw Kat Matthews, and I knew like this is a group with a lot of good cyclists, so I was really comfortable in the group as well, but I felt that the pace isn't really on right now. And when I came up and heard like 6 minutes or something to the front, I was thinking, oh, that's a lot.
I mean, I saw you swimming a little bit to the wide of the pack as well, like not sort of getting in the mix of it. Were you just, because it was a comfortable pace, you didn't have to be right on someone's feet the whole time?
I was actually on someone's feet basically the whole time.
Okay, maybe I was looking at the wrong colour hat.
I was laying basically in second position in that group the whole time, just following someone's feet. Looking back, maybe I should have been a bit more aggressive and helped the pace a bit, but I was just sitting in the whole time. And I think I was just, because I saw the cyclists around me, I was thinking that it was okay to just stay there, but I actually didn't think we would lose that much time, so maybe I need to be a bit more aggressive.
But it's interesting you saying that, you've won the race and you're already talking about things that you would have done differently. And at the swim start, I saw lots of jostling. Were you trying to be near somebody in particular so you could be on their feet, or like what was the strategy at the very start of the race?
Yeah, I tried to see where the where the good swimmers.
You are a good swimmer, come on.
Where the good swimmers were standing, and they were mostly on the left side at least, but they was also switching a lot around where people were standing. But I was starting quite close to, for instance, Holly Lawrence and Lucy Charleston. I wasn't really expecting to get on Lucy's feet or anything, but it's always nice to have them close to you because then you know that the pace will be quite high around you, and then it's easier to just try to follow the sort of stream. But yeah, then the paddleboard was there. So.
And you said in the press conference that you were feeling really confident with your swim after the practice swim. Did that sort of change your tactics going into the race?
No, not really. It's just always good to have a bit confidence, and I think you get that from races. And yeah, I felt really good there, and I wasn't too far off the front there, so I was really hoping to have a similar swim in the race, but that didn't happen. But again, I was at least with some good people, so at least I got like a bit easier start on the day with quite relaxed pace in that group. So maybe it set up the day all right in the end.
So let's head out onto the bike then. You were in the strong group, but you knew that you were 6 minutes down. Did you have a plan A, and was that still plan A, or were you like, what was your strategy? Because when we spoke to you before the race, you were like, I'm just going to do my race, like how you like to race and come from behind.
I think I started to think of different scenarios when I was in the swim, because I knew a bit who I was in the group with, as I said, so that also helps a lot when you know, like, okay, then I can ride with Lisa and Kat, for instance, and Laura, but I didn't see her before I got out of the water, so but I saw both Kat and Lisa on each side of me during the swim. But I was also trying to plan all these small things. For instance, I had put aero calves in my T1 bag, but I hadn't really decided if I wanted to wear them or not. I was also thinking, I decide that based on the situation after the swim. And when I saw I was with a lot of strong cyclists, I was thinking like, okay, then I probably shouldn't spend time taking them on, because then I might lose the group, and you gain more just by being around strong cyclists. So I had planned not to wear them, but then suddenly I just started to think, oh, I'm quick on taking them on, and I will catch them anyway. I think it's smart to take them on. So I don't know why I suddenly changed the mindset around that, but I'm happy I did, because I was riding alone most of the way. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. They came in handy, didn't they? And I mean, we saw Kat stopping. You wouldn't probably have seen this, but like to get ice out of her helmet, so she also
I was
went for
before her after transition, which I didn't expect. So
yeah, exactly. So you didn't really lose too much.
And Laura also took on aero calf, so it was working out quite well in there.
So how quickly did you sort of become a group on the bike, and how long did you stay as a group?
I was riding with Kat basically from the start, and Lisa and Laura I think they were a bit faster in transition and a bit faster in the beginning of the bike. So I think we catch them after 30 minutes or something actually. So it took a while to get up to them.
And were you and Kat working together, or?
Yeah.
There was a good dynamic going on there.
Yeah, it worked well. She took basically the uphills and I took the downhills.
Well, we know that you like the downhills, but it sounds like Kat does as well. And once you caught up with Laura, and Lisa was up there as well, was she? Was there anyone else in that group?
Not at that time, I think.
And you guys stayed together until when?
I'm not sure. I was staying behind for a bit, and then I was thinking I could take a turn as well to the front, and I went to the front and was there for maybe 10 minutes or something, and then I tried to see if somebody else wanted to take a turn, but when I turned to look for the others, they weren't there. So I was really surprised by that, because I hadn't really tried to break away from them, but I guess I just got a lot of speed in one of the downhills and got a gap without knowing it. So then I was just like, oh, I'm on my own now.
It sounds like there was a bit of tactics going on between Laura and Kat, and they were almost in their own race, and as a result,
it was a bit same as Hamburg. Like they are in there a bit of a race with each other, and I'm just there.
I think next time they're going to be very much in a race with you. You're not going to maybe get that opportunity again. But once you realised you were solo, you had that was a long way from the finish.
Yeah, I think it was after 40-50 minutes or something.
Wow.
So it was a bit disappointing as well, because I really like riding in a group. It's a bit more happening, and you get a bit distracted from only thinking about yourself. You can pay more attention to the lights and to the others, and you need to make sure you're not drafting, and it's more going on when you're by yourself. It's a bit more boring.
Especially you've never raced here before. How did you find the mind games? That's what so many people talk about. And just driving out here, we're only halfway to the course, and it's a long drive, and it's just a straight road. How did you find that?
I think I'm quite okay with that. I've had some pretty long race-specific sessions this year, where I've also been doing them often alone, and so it's just about keeping the pace quite even and try to focus on hydration. But it can feel a bit boring actually, but you just need to stay focused at the same time.
And did you then ride to power? Was that your strategy? If you weren't in the race dynamics, were you going to ride to power numbers, to heart rate, to feel? What was your plan?
I look at my power, but it's mainly the feel. So I just felt good. So I was riding, at least for the first part, maybe a bit higher watts than I had been thinking I would. But I just felt good, and I feel like that's the most important parameter in all the disciplines, really.
And the heat, like you said beforehand, you've raced in 2 wet races, but obviously you have done some major heat preparation. Did you then plan to sort of go at a slightly lower intensity than you might have done at your previous 2 races that were colder?
I didn't do that here. I think my watts were probably higher here than both in Hamburg and Le Placid.
Okay.
So maybe I should have. I don't know. I just it felt okay, but it might have affected my run, because I was feeling quite bad on the run. But it's hard to say if I actually overbiked or if it was just because it was really warm on the run as well. But probably a little bit. But
Well, we probably should
It
actually
was-
congratulate you. Had the fastest bike split of the day as well, so that's a pretty.
Yeah, I heard that. I think actually Taylor Eve had the fastest, but
But her result
according to
doesn't count.
at least Bob,
Bob
you need
knows
to-
everything. He's
he
the
knows
oracle.
everything. If you don't finish the rain, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
But she still had the fastest
Okay.
bike place.
Got that. Well, still, you're officially the fastest. And on that, your nutrition. What was your plan, and what did you actually do on the bike?
I went with 2 bottles with a flow gel in each. And also 2 caffeine gels. So I think I had around 660, or probably it was something left in the bottle.
Okay.
So let's say 640 or
What
something.
did you know what that is an hour? My maths isn't good enough. I know you've spoken with PFNH since, so
Yeah, if according to them, I had 145.
I love the way that's like you just consumed that, and that
Yeah.
was your plan. That's pretty good, like high numbers in the heat. So your stomach dealt with it well, and
I had no problem at all. It was really easy to get it down in this
Awesome.
race. So
you came into T2, and like, did you then know? Were you getting time checks? What was your plan after hearing that Lucy and Taylor were up the road, and you knew Kat and Laura would not be that far behind?
yeah, I was really surprised when I got into T2 because I've gotten a couple splits up to Lucy and Taylor, so I knew that I was riding around the same pace as them basically the whole day. But I hadn't really gotten any splits behind, so in my head I was thinking like maybe I have a 2 minutes gap or something. So when I heard it was 8 minutes, I was really surprised by that actually. So when I started to run, I was just thinking, okay, I'm in 3rd place now. I just need to really try to hold on to this podium position. So I was thinking either I need to try to not get catched by the people behind me, and if I get catched by either Laura or Kat, because I was also thinking about in Hamburg, Laura ran 8 minutes faster than me. So I was
Wow.
thinking, this is like, I should be able to hold it off, but I can't be too sure of that either. So if somebody catches me from behind, then I need to try to catch either Lucy or Taylor, so I still can finish on the podium, because that was like, when I started the run, that was the goal, because I didn't want to lose the podium position when I actually was in it. So
Got that. And obviously it ended up being Kat almost she was about 8 minutes quicker, wasn't she, in the end? So she was chasing you. But did you have any idea of the battle that was going on up front? Because I was watching the splits, and to Taylor, you were sort of knocking off each kilometre. You were just sort of 10, 15 seconds quicker. So the gap was starting to shrink, and I was trying to do the maths of like, oh, you might catch Taylor, but Lucy was obviously running quicker. So it was looking like there was a chance there. Did you have any idea of how hard they were pushing each other, or like, did you get reports when Lucy came off the course? Like, what feedback were you getting?
yeah, I got a lot of splits, and I also got the feedback that I was getting on Taylor in the beginning, and then I heard that they were running together and that the lead were switching a lot. And Lucy stopped when I was quite close to her, so I ran past her when she had just decided to not finish. So it's not something you want to see right when such a strong athlete just is standing there, and you can see just how heartbroken she is, and it's not the way you want to gain a position in a race. So it was mixed feelings there, and also you're like thinking you're really sorry for her, and also you're thinking, okay, but now I'm in 2nd, and that's crazy. So it was really weird in a way, and then people starting to say like, you can't catch Taylor as well, and I was thinking like, oh no, I can't do that. And then, but Brad, for instance, was really like, you just need to believe it. And then I was thinking, okay, I guess I need to try, because you can't not try it. But it was like, I was really comfortable in 2nd, but then you need to like, I guess when I never had the goal of winning, and then it's really easy to just be satisfied with being on the podium, and I would have been really happy with 2nd as well. So it was actually a bit hard mentally to try to switch just my mindset to let's try to win.
That's mad, isn't it? And did you, having seen Lucy sort of pull up like that, did it also make you go, oh gosh, do I need to check in on myself and my pace, or were you feeling good?
Yeah, I definitely felt the heats quite much, so I was definitely thinking about that. So I tried to up my pace a bit to get closer to Taylor, but I was also really afraid to blow up and then get caught from behind. So it's hard to know exactly where your limits are on stuff like that. So I knew at that time, at least, I had still a quite good gap on cats. I was thinking like, okay, I can try to focus on the people in front of me, and that's also a cooler way to race, I think, to like
be chasing,
risk
not,
a little
not
bit,
feeling.
not be afraid of getting caught, but instead try to think forward. And then I started to gain on Taylor, but
and you were gaining quite considerably, because I think I saw you at about 4K to go, like both of you, is just where I stood, and Taylor looked like she was suffering, but she was still running and moving.
Yeah.
But you were, from the splits, you were running quicker. But when did you realise that Taylor was like, did you see her walking up ahead of you, or was it not until you actually saw her sort of sat on the roadside?
Yeah, I saw her in front of me because it's just a really long straight road. So there's also some motivation in that. But then again, she stopped before I caught up to her, and at that point it just felt like I was just starting to think, what's going on now? Like I had two people in front of me, and both of them stopped before I got to them. So I just felt like, in a way, it felt like I was just given the win. Because
you went.
I really worked for it. I did everything I could, but yeah.
And you controlled your effort, and you did the heat prep, and you listened to your own body, didn't you? That was, I guess, at the end of the day, that's kind of what had to be done. Did you know, and you're saying you didn't like to look behind, but did you know that Kat in those last few K was closing at the rate that she was?
Yeah. I felt like I had control over that, because I had got so many good splits out there, which was great. So I think when I got into the lead, it was like 2.5K left, and I still had 2 minutes or something. So I was thinking like, I can actually ease off a little bit now, and still keep Kat behind me, because honestly at that point I was just starting to get afraid of being the next person sitting beside the road. So I was easing off a little bit, and it was you have those downhills on the last part where I was just actually enjoying quite much, and I actually was surprised how close she was anyway. Even though I got all the splits, I was because I had 2 minutes or something with 2K to go, and suddenly she was 30 seconds behind me. So she was running really fast at the end there.
And apparently it's the third closest ever finish and the second closest women's ever finish. But you were blissfully unaware, which is probably quite nice that you still enjoyed it as much, like that finish line. And just tell me, like, run us through those last 100 meters. What was going through your mind?
I was just trying to believe what was happening, because as I said, I didn't expect it before the race, and also during the race I didn't really believe it, and when Taylor stopped it just happened so fast. So it was just I was suddenly in the lead, and it felt really sudden, and in a way I was just like, I was not prepared to lead the race, it felt like. So when people said like, you're leading now, I was just like, this is really weird. So it was try to soak it in, but also just surreal, really.
And I'm guessing it's still not really sunk in, because we're speaking to you the morning after, and I know you've just been like crazy with commitments and media attention and things.
Yeah, it's been a lot going on. No, it hasn't really sunk in, and I think I got a message from Mikael, my coach, and he was also saying like, to be honest, I didn't really see that happening.
Wow, I mean, he must be absolutely chuffed. That kind of leads us nicely onto your preparation, and I think the ironic thing here is that Norwegians, you and Christian and Gustav, and yet to see Kasper perform here, but perform so well in these hot conditions. You come from a country that is very cold and wet. Like,
yeah.
What preparation did you do that got you so ready for this heat?
I think we do heat prep in the same way most people do right now. With like, before I got here, it's nothing fancy. I did some sessions just in the bathroom where I was staying. I was in Fontremøen altitude camp before I got here, and it was actually quite cold there the last
I saw some of your pictures, yeah.
Yeah, so then it's all about trying to just dress up a bit more than you usually do, just try to avoid freezing. That's not ideal. And I also did some heat sessions in the bathroom, as I said, and we didn't really have an oven on the bathroom, but what I did was maybe 10 minutes before I started the session, I turned on the shower on the warmest, and then it got really humid and warm into the room, and I also dressed up with a lot of clothes, and then I just do an hour or so with a lot of clothes on. So I had a session like that every other day or so, and then I've been here for 2 weeks, and that also helps a lot to just do some specific sessions in the actually climate you're going to race in.
I like the fact that it is relatively, people can learn from that and they can do what you guys do in that sense. And I think now's, I'd like to just very quickly I say quickly because you've got a 10-year history in triathlon, but have a quick rewind 10 years ago when you first started triathlon. I know you came from a swimming background and then got into the sport when Norway was not on the map as a triathlon region. Just tell me about your first few races and how you progressed to the sport to get to this level.
Yeah, it was definitely other times I hadn't really heard about triathlon at all, and I was really uncertain if I wanted to do triathlon because I didn't know anyone who did it. So it was, or there was one person in my swimming club who actually got me into triathlon, but he was the only one I knew, and I was thinking, this is just weird, a weird sport. Weird people are doing this sport, and I was just like, I'm not sure if I want to...
We are weird. We're happy with that.
I'm really happy with it now, but maybe I was just a bit more insecure at that age as well, because I was like basically embarrassed to say I did triathlon.
I mean, you do wear lycra all day and go running in that. So I think to the outside world, we do look maybe a bit strange. But now you're in the world.
Now I'm just embracing it.
Exactly. And you obviously raced short course all your career until just recently, until the last sort of year and a half. And I saw you in Paris, and that was your main goal to get to the Olympics. How did you switch from reaching your goal so quickly to then focusing on Ironman?
It was a bit hard to decide what I wanted to do after Paris as well. I was really set on LA in the beginning, just because I wanted a redo on the Olympic experience, because it was such a bad race there. It's actually a bit funny to look back on now, because I think I was the last person out of the water there. I had like a terrible swim, and I was also swimming a bit wrong. And
it was very tactical with that current, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was terrible. But I was and out on the bike. I was also like the last person, but then I caught up with Lisa Percher, and we were riding. I think we were the two of the last people to finish in that Olympic race. So both of us basically had a really terrible race there, and now both of us moved to long course this year, and I think we are
smashing it. Yeah,
both enjoying it so much. Yeah, and I think I can relate to a lot of things, the things she's saying now, like about just having fun with it this year, and just appreciate everything we get to do, and also appreciate that we're both doing quite well this year, because it's been just such a big change for both of us. And if something goes a bit wrong in a race now, it's like, for instance, when Lisa got the penalty in Lake Placid, she talked about like I said to her, it was so cool to see how well you handled that situation, and you didn't let it ruin your race, and you still rode so strong after that. And she was saying, like, I think just for us who has been through a lot in short course and been through a lot of disappointments there, and it's just easy now to sort of tackle those things, because it was more of it in short course in a way.
I mean, until a few years ago, when Christian did the jump from Olympic straight into Ironman, it was very unusual to see someone going from short course racing straight to full distance. It was normally 70.3, and you obviously have had success at 70.3, but that wasn't enough. Like, when did you make the decision saying, right, I'm actually going long course, not just to half distance?
I don't know, it felt like weird to only do 70.3s, like only do one distance. So I think I also just talked to Mikael about it, and we just planned that, okay, if I'm going to do long course, why not do the whole thing? And also, obviously, now with the Pro Series, it's even a more motivation to do Ironman as well, to do that series, which is exciting, and just to see what Kona is all about.
And you talked about Mikael. So Mikael obviously was coaching you when you were in the national team. And did you look to potentially move coach, or was he always going to be able to stay with you to make that transition? Because it's quite a different setup, isn't it, from being in the team to being an individual?
Yeah, I when I decided I wanted to do long course, I talked to him about it as well, and I said that I really wanted him to continue as my coach, but of course it was also up to him if he wanted to continue outside of the national team. But I think we both just were excited for the project, so it's been working really well this year.
It obviously has. And I have to ask, like the relationship you have with Christian, Gustav, you used to all be in the team together. They left the team before you did, and now you sort of stepped away as well. What did they give you any advice? Do you have sort of still much banter with them? Do you get to pass them in training at all? Like, what's the relationship like with those guys?
I feel the relationship is really good. We don't really talk that often now. We're not living in the same cities, and
You mean you're not in Bergen?
I'm not in Bergen. But it will be. We have been so much on camp together, just throughout the years, really, and it's like all of them is people I feel like I can really call if it's something I want to talk about, or it could be triathlon related or just anything else, really. And it would be nice to have a bit more, maybe camp together next year, for instance. This year it's been, the schedule has just not been lining up at all. But yeah, I still have a really good relationship with them, and also with the national team. So this year I have done a couple of camps with the national team, even though I'm not in the team right now. So I'm also really grateful for that, because I don't really have any big training group now. Like the boys, they have each other, and the national team has the national team. So it's been a bit weird to like not have that group you're always with, but it's also been cool to have a bit more responsibility for my own setup and the people I have around me. So I've liked it as well.
And did you get any advice from those guys before the race, or are you actually going to go back and give advice to Casper for next year, and maybe even to Christian? You know, he's not nailed this race yet.
Yeah, true. He only has a third place here.
There you go. You can go back and brag about that one. Last little bit. Just have a quick look ahead. You mentioned the Pro Tri Series. You've got the 70.3 Worlds next. What's your plan for that? We've only got 4 weeks to go.
Oh yeah, I haven't really thought much about it yet, to be honest.
Fair enough.
I will have an easy week this week, and then have a couple of weeks at home, and probably go there a week before. I haven't booked flights or anything yet. I haven't even decided if I'm going to use the TT bike or the road bike, so that's another question.
I love that. I'm going back to tell the team back at GTN that, you know, even the Ironman World Champion hasn't decided yet, because I in my head haven't decided, even if I'm maybe riding
it's more fun with a road bike, so we'll see. But it's I feel like for me the 70.3 Worlds it feels more like a bonus race for me. Like Kona is the big goal, and also the Pro Series, and I feel like honestly in the Pro Series I can't really see myself finishing any other position than second right now. I feel like Kat is too far ahead unless she DNFs or something in Marbella and I win. Something like that would need to happen. And
you never know in triathlon.
You never know. And also behind it's quite far up, so it's like I'm pretty like clear in second, I feel like. So which is nice, I think, that I don't really need to worry too much about that. And this was the big goal for me, and 70.3 will just be to have another race, have fun there, and regardless of the result there, I'm so happy with my season. So it's just for fun.
Yeah, well, so you should be. Well, we will see you in Marbella, whether either of us have got our road bikes or our TT bikes. I'm sure we'll be there having fun. It's been lovely to chat to you, Solveig, and just congratulations. Go and hopefully you've got a little bit of time to enjoy it before Marbella.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Do share your congratulations or leave any questions in the comments section below, and you never know, we might get to ask them to Solveig in a few weeks' time. Thanks for watching.